Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to the instant match reaction to Everton 2, Boreham Wood 0. Everton make it hard work against the lowest ranked side left in the FA Cup. We progressed to the quarter-finals, but like I say, we didn't make it easy for ourselves. Salomon Rondon gets both the goals and sees us over the line. Two well-taken goals, but other than that, we really lacked quality today. And we were playing obviously a team 4 levels below us, but it didn't show. We really stooped to their level. The lack of standards was there to be seen. I think I've bemoaned this many a time from the players. I think it wasn't good enough. The players didn't seem to have the drive to do well in this game. Like I say, nonetheless, we got the job done. I think there was a lot of questions around the five at the back against a non-league team, which was really stifling us. I think that was one thing I think Frank Lampard got very wrong. Personnel-wise, obviously that sort of enabled Nathan Patterson to get forward, and Mikalenko played pretty well in the first half, but not many others contributed enough. I don't think it was, like I say, having the three at the back was really stifling us, and we weren't having enough bodies in front of the player with the ball. It was really tough to watch that first half. It was a really embarrassing performance for the most part. There was part of the game where I saw Boreham Wood's players doing pirouettes around on midfielders and come on, raise your game. It's okay, you're not playing Man City like we were on Saturday, but for goodness sake, bring some sort of professionalism and some standards to this game. But it wasn't there the first half. It looks as though Frank Lampard really did give them an earful at half time because they did come out better. Second half, we were better and obviously found the breakthrough about 10 minutes into the second half. Salomon Rondon took it home from Kenny's cross. Kenny, of course, moving a bit further forward with the change of formation, which immediately I think reaped dividends, having that 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1 that sort of it had a lot more basically extra personnel higher up the field, and that was what was always going to be needed to break down their defence. The defence was really good. They're a horrible team to play against, and no wonder they're so measly defensively. I think the statistics during the game that Boreham Wood have the lowest conceded out of any team in the top 5 leagues, and you can see why they're really well drilled and they're a nightmare to play against. But the only way we were going to get the goal we needed there was to get more bodies forward, and the change of formation definitely helped facilitate that. We got the goal, like I say, about 10 minutes into the second half, and then of course Rondon scores again. A header cleared off the line, but it was over the line. Yeah, that sort of gave us that breathing space. Just before that as well, Richarlison had the goal disallowed, oddly enough, for a handball, very similar to Rodri's in terms of the anatomy, but a lot harder to control with his arm. So, make of that what you will with the VAR situation. I think this obviously we're going to be watching the VAR performances like a hawk. I think between now and the end of the season, given the way we've been screwed over in recent weeks, but definitely um, need a bit more luck from the referees. But thankfully, we didn't obviously need it today. We got the 2 goals and we're into the half of the quarterfinals. I say into the hat, we've already come out the hat. We've got Crystal Palace in the next round at Selhurst Park, which is going to be a really difficult game. And we certainly won't be going any further than that if we play like this. But I don't doubt that the players will be aware of that. We've got another month or so, I think. Possibly not even that. A couple of weeks at least to hopefully try and get a couple of results on the road and get a bit more confidence in that because our away form's atrocious. If that was a home fixture, I'd be very confident, but like I say, it's away and it's not an easy place to go. So we can't count our chickens, but it's we're one game away from Wembley now, so hopefully Frank Lampard can continue to improve the performance levels. I think generally they have been better. Today was an off day again, whether that's because of obviously the major change in personnel, and as supporters, especially ourselves on this channel, we often bemoan the lack of depth, and when we change the personnel and bring the second string in, there's just not enough of a standard there, and we saw that today. But yeah, hopefully, with the main first 11 back and as many of our best players in the team, we might be able to give part of a game and get to Wembley. We're one game away now, so definitely not beyond the realms of possibility that we could maybe reach a final, which, in Frank Lampard's first half of season, would be absolutely excellent. But obviously, all focus turns back to the league now. We've got Spurs on the weekend, and we've got to get a result there. But yeah, on the side, I was obviously mentioned the second string and some of the fringe players underwhelmed. But we did get to see a few of the kids at the end, which was really nice. Reece Welch made his debut. Isaac Price, and of course Dobbin got on as well. So there was positives, and of course the big positive being that we are in the next round. But yeah, it's one of those. I think it was always going to be a difficult game. This because if we didn't win by 4+ goals, I think there was always going to be some question marks as to why we didn't. But at the end of the day, it was about professionally getting over the line. Wasn't perfect by any means, certainly not. But we got the job done and made sure we avoided the banana skin of going out, because I don't think any of us would have lived that down. It would have been a real stain on Lampard's tenure, early doors to go out like that. So I think, to keep that sort of goodwill in the bank that Frank Lampard's definitely earned from his early performances. Even the defeat to City, I think the performance was pretty good. You know, if you can continue to improve the consistency of decent performances across the board, then I think we'll be just fine in both league and hopefully cup as well, and see ourselves to Wembley. But of course, there's a lot of football to be played between now and that Palace game, so let's see how that pans out. But like I say, I think all that matters is that we got the result, and I think personnel wise, I'll go through a few of the players in terms of how they played. I think obviously Mikalenko was the captain on a very emotional game for him, given the circumstances in Ukraine. But he played well, I thought. Obviously, he picked up a knock and went off. So hopefully he's not too bad. Um, Seamus Coleman came on for him. Uh, John Joe Kenny, I thought, played okay when he got moved into the full-back roles, because, let's be honest, he played as a right centre-back tonight, and he's just not a centre-back. Let's be honest, he's not the most gifted right back or left back either, but he's certainly more adept in those positions than he is a centre half. I think that's definitely something we can take away from this and hopefully never see again. Um, Midfield, I thought Decore and Alan were okay, but they were just sometimes a bit too sideways with the ball. I think that's kind of part of the struggle we had in the first half. I think obviously got a lot better with extra options ahead of them. Anthony Gordon was excellent, probably in the frame for man of the match. I think he was obviously always a threat, a lot more direct than anyone else, and always trying to get us on the front foot. And that's something we as Everton fans love to see. Andros Townsend was quite disappointing. I thought he was again just not intense enough. The crosses he was putting in, normally one of his better attributes, were quite wayward, going out of play, getting the first man. Um, yeah, not great from Townsend. Of course, Richarlison come on and made a good impact and should have had a goal. Let's be honest. Yeah, there was a lot of like positives and negatives, but I'm reserving the last positive for obviously the goal scorer Salman Rondon, who for me was man of the match. I mean, I'm not going off much because I don't think anyone played particularly well, to be honest. But I thought he showed a lot more determination, a lot more grit. Was chasing a lot of things down. I think a lot of what we demanded from him when we signed him. To be honest, we've not seen that at all until now. But granted that the opposition are non-league, so maybe nothing to go by long term. But I was impressed with his endeavour today, and obviously he got the goals that result in the end. But I thought he was pretty good. He was solid, and considering the stick he's had at times, I thought he did well. And yeah, I'd say he's the man. He probably wasn't the man of the match. He was really good, but I give him man of the match to good. And like I say, his drive and his desire to get us up the pitch is always there, even when it isn't there from others. So once again, I think Gordon was the live wire in the team, and as he has been for most of the season. So well done to him, and obviously well done to the team for just getting us over the line just about. We can move on to Spurs now and try and get some results in the league before that Palace game, which is in a few weeks' time. So yeah, all in all, a decent day's work, if not the most entertaining spectacle. I think we were all hoping for a little bit better, but we got the result, and that's all that matters. So there you have it, guys. Everton 2, Boreham Wood 0. Let us know your opinions on the FA Cup win and how you fancy us for how you think the cup run will go. Could we reach the final? Let us know your opinions. Drop us a comment, give this video a like, and subscribe for more content. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching on the Toffee Blues.